in the conference room at KSAW. Well, kiddies, I've called a meeting of you, my favorite people here, before I talk to the complete board of directors, because I've got some sad news, at least it is to me, and I'm offering you a chance to get your bids in while you can. Seems like your old Uncle Al here has gone and contracted himself a good case of tuberculosis.
What? Oh no! You're kidding! This is some kind of a joke. Go on.
I wish it were. I tried to deny it to myself for a long time, but it's getting worse, and they told me today I've got to get out of Stag Bluff. I've got to get out of the fog and out of the smoke and go all the way to Arizona, Ridgefield, Arizona, would you believe? The sanitarium.
But hell, that can't be so. You're the boss of KSAW. We built this place together.
What's gonna happen when
we
you're
built this
gone?
empire together. I can't believe that.
I couldn't either for the longest time, and you don't know how hard it is for me to stand up here and say this. But I can't do anything else. I've got to sell my part of the station because this is going to be very expensive, supporting my tuberculosis in a private sanitarium there. And these things, there's no way of knowing how long it takes to get over this. They say I've got a pretty bad case of it. If I'm lucky, I could be out in a year. But it could be 2, it could be 5, it could be never. I've been through it from A to Z. I've talked to, you wouldn't believe how many doctors, and I wasn't going to say anything till I was sure.
But are you sure you talked with the doctors about it?
Of course I did. I've been to lots of them. It's getting worse. I've been dealing with it for a long time now, but you know me, I don't like to admit to anything. But I'm getting thinner, and I've got to have complete rest, they say.
Oh, Anne, I'm so sorry. I didn't know what to say. I feel stricken.
You've never said a word about this, Al. How could you keep such a thing quiet all this time? How long has it been going on?
Oh, I've been struggling with it for a good while now. I thought it would pass. I didn't want to acknowledge it, but it's getting worse, and I tire so easily now. They're going to put me to bed, and I'm just supposed to lie there and rest and eat. Oh, that sounds like a perfect life, Al. I mean, you know, if it weren't... Yeah, I know what you mean.
Well, what are we gonna do?
It has its good side there.
What kind of... Are we gonna get a replacement?
What's gonna happen to us?
Well, that's what I'm coming to. I've made the arrangements already to take the room at the sanitarium, and I'm giving some of you that own stock here, and particularly you, Squint, and Valerie, that already own a lot in it, a chance to buy out my part.
But hell, you know I can't do that. I'm up to my ears already owing on the zoo, and the production company we started, and the toy company, and what we still owe on the farms, and the bacon board shelter.
So am I. All my money's tied up in that, my folks' money. We don't have any loose cash anymore. All our stuff's tied up in these investments. Oh, why did we have to... We didn't know this was ever going to happen. Or I would have tried to... Oh, Squint, maybe we shouldn't have made that expensive film. That Quo Vadis cost us so much. The station's still in debt for that
Well,
one.
Squint, I've been telling you we've been making too many films too much. Somebody's gonna have a nervous breakdown.
But everybody wanted them spectaculars. I know they were costly, but they'll make it back.
I know they will, but it'll take time.
We're gonna have to cut down.
Time is just what we haven't got right now. So, no one really has the money to buy out my shares.
No, I can't borrow that much.
I can't either, and my folks can't either. We're already strapped. We're in debt ourselves now. I mean, if it had come in 2 or 3 more years, maybe so, but right now, there's no way.
Well, that's what I was afraid of. I guess I'm going to have to sell it to an outsider. I'm going to talk over some business with a Mr. Malcolm Ringwald. He's coming down from Vancouver, Canada in a couple of days. He's got the money, and I don't have the time to waste waiting for anyone else. I don't know a thing about the man, but they say he really knows his stuff. I guess he'll do a good job for you. It's out of my hands now.
I know, but we'll
This
never
is
be the
terrible.
same.
This
We'll
is
never be the
awful.
same.
Isn't there some other way, Al? I mean, couldn't you stay in the sanitarium a little closer?
Can you run the business from the sanitaries?
I wish I could, but they're not going to let me do anything. They say I can't get over this unless I have complete rest, bed rest, plenty of food, all of that. I'm about wasting away now. I've lost another 20 pounds, if you haven't noticed.
It's hard to tell because you wear them dark suits all the time. I feel terribly about this. Is there anything I can do?
Thank you, Squint, but there's nothing that can be done that hasn't already. I just have to get out and close this deal up as fast as I can. I hope everything will go on as normal. You know how hard we've all worked as a creative team here, building a lot of local interest. We built our own little Hollywood empire with all of your blood, sweat, and tears and work, and I've enjoyed every minute of it. I know we didn't always get along. We sometimes had harsh words, but
Well, this guy better like what we do, because I'm not gonna put up with anything different.
This is not proper at all. You can't be sick. You can't. You're our own Cecil B. DeMille, or Louis B. Mayer, or Tycoon, or Typhoon, and all of that. You can't be sick. I won't let you.
I wish it were in your hands. I don't mind telling you I've been pretty upset about it, but I'm resigned to it now. I have to be. It's rather anxiety producing when you're coughing as much as I am. I'm getting to where I wake up at night coughing like Algernon Craven.
Well, if you do get over it, do you think you can
Hey,
come up here and run the station again?
I'm counting on it, Jose. I'm praying for it and counting on it. And believe me, if I could afford to go down there and still keep the station, I would. But this is going to cost a lot. I've got some insurance, but it's not going to cover it all.
Well, I'm sure the station, maybe at least half of it, will be here when you get back.
Listen, if you go down there and you rest for a whole year, and we didn't give you no headaches, and we didn't give you no trouble up here, you'll be well, won't you?
Yeah, anyone.
And then you can come back and buy it back.
Well, that's what I'm hoping to do. This is my life.
The rest will work on shares.
This is my life, and you're my family. As you know, I don't have anyone else but Stanley, and I never see him anymore.
Does Stanley know about it?
Yes, I've talked to him on the phone. He's all torn up about it, too. But Stanley has his own life to worry about now, and he's studying at that scientific institute, and I'm afraid he's not going to be able to be much help to this situation. There's nothing anyone can do. When you're sick, and you just got to do what the doctors tell you. I've had every test you can imagine. I thought this was a Southwest disease, what they call a little spot, nothing to worry about.
Tuberculosis, this is awful. I've never known anyone that had that before.
Neither did I. Nobody
My
in my
uncle had
family
it one
did.
time, and he had to go out to New Mexico one time, but he got okay. But he had to, stop doing all these different things.
But, Al, I don't know what to... I feel like crying. I mean, what about... We don't know anything about this new guy. What did you say his name was?
Malcolm Ringwald.
Hey, ringworm.
Ring worker.
Ringwald.
Already I didn't like him.
He sounds very suspicious.
He sounds like a dip.
He's coming from Canada. Couldn't we get somebody closer that we already knew about?
Canada's about the closest you can get around here.
I have been sitting here in shock listening to this. Why did you not confide in me that you were ailing and sick? Why did you think you had to keep it to yourself and keep the stiff upper lip and stoically go along carrying this burden. What did you think I was here for? You should have come to me. Perhaps I could have helped you. You must be having a wreck of psychological nerves and distress.
Yes, well, I have. I have indeed. And I didn't want to talk about it, really. I didn't want to believe it. I tried to pretend like it didn't exist, and if I talked about it, I was afraid it would make it worse. You know how these reactions are.
I know what you're trying to do, to deny it. That it, if you thought you ignored it, go away, but it didn't. It got bigger. Now look what you've done. You're going to Arizona.
There's nothing but Indians.
There's nothing but Indians and
Baking.
dust there. It's too dusty there. Why didn't you go to a sanitarium in San Diego at least?
It's too
Closer,
polluted.
where we could go see ya.
Well, they say this one in Arizona will be the best one for me. The air is supposed to be good there, and it's a large place. It's very nice, if you can use the word for that.
I feel like I've been hit with a hammer.
Is there any way you could write?
Oh yes, of course. I'll write. You know, except when sometimes they don't even let you write there. You have to just sleep all the time. Can you imagine that? Me sleeping with all my nervous energy.
I can't imagine that. You could never be still very good. What about your smoking, your cigars?
Well, they tell me I'm going to have to lay off that a little bit too.
You're
That's going to
smoking
kill
one
me.
now.
I'm smoking one now, and they say, Mr. Strange, you're going to have to lay off those cigars, or you're going to have nice little lung cancer to go with your TB. Oh, life's just full of little goodies, isn't it?
I thought everyone
Aye,
would take a
blindly.
test. TB test.
I feel like I was hit with a wrench.
Yeah,
Didn't you take the little
Me
test?
too. I took all kind of tests, Eddie.
You know that little test you took when you were Charlie's, that ugly scar in your rib. Didn't you take that?
He's talking about that time test. I remember them.
Oh, yes, well, I've had those before, and everything was okay, but not anymore.
Life is terrible. Everyth's all right one minute and then it's all
Wowie.
turned around. Do you realize what this means? This is the end of an era. Everything's going to be different now. This station was you and me and all the rest of us. I didn't want this new guy. Already I didn't like him and I didn't even know him. But I got bad vibes about him.
So do I. I never did like a strange person coming in. This was our thing here.
Al, what about, Lucinda? She's about ready to have our baby pretty soon, and she hasn't been working here for a while, but she was hoping to come back and get to do commercials later on. You don't think that, will there be a chance? Well, I'm sure that, he'll be having a new management, but he'll have to go along with what a lot of you say, since you still own stock in this station, and it's been successful, what we've done. I don't see why he'd want to change a lot of things. Kids, I'm getting pretty weak again. I'm going to have to end the meeting. I'll talk to you each individually later on.
Hey, when are you gonna leave?
When are you leaving?
As soon as I can get the station sold, I'll probably be leaving a couple days after that. I guess the early part of next week.
Julius Caesar. It's like you dropped a bomb on us.
I feel weird.
I can hardly speak. I feel like I've been abandoned.
My show might get canceled. This guy might not like the way I do things.
I didn't want somebody coming or sticking their nose in. Hell, if it's money, can't you just get more loans or something?
I wish I could, but I can't do that. We still owe some money on those made-for-TV films we've done. I've borrowed to my limit. I've even taken out of my own pocket. It's my credit's stretched. I can't do any more.
5 years of glory in the sun. I knew it had to end somewhere.
Nothing good ever lasts. Why is that so?
I feel kind of scared.
You feel scared. What about me?
Look at that little stupid news show I've got. I mean, I'm the sportscaster. This time I not like sports.
The thing of it was, he didn't know us as individuals the way you did. You were more than a boss. I know we used to gripe about you all the time and say you were a taskmaster and we were in bondage and all of that. But we didn't mind it. We loved it.
Yeah, I did too. Maybe it was just too good to last. But this was my life, and I intend to get it back. I'll be writing, and you guys, you do a good job for the new guy. And I know we'll be getting together again later on. I feel a coughing attack coming on. I hate to cough in front of everybody, because it goes on quite a while. So I'm going to adjourn now, and I'll be talking to you all later.
I'll see you later.
And I'm so sorry.